Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is actually lifestyle. We're doing lifestyle today. It's going to be kind of a weight loss video, but before we go into that, I want to update you on something because I'm actually filming this in the morning for when you're seeing this, which is always super special for me for some reason. I love that. But also I need to update you because I actually today, this morning, filmed my first look, which is this one. I filmed this, I think it's like for 2 months or 3 months. I don't know how long I have been on a break filming any looks. I just couldn't do it. And I was so blocked and I just couldn't do it. But today I got up and I filmed a look. And I sort of found a compromise how to do it. Okay, so this video will probably come up next week. I'm pretty sure it's coming next week. It's the review of the Purple Moon palette and the Daydreamer palette of Style Cosmetics. So watch out for that one because I'm going to do makeup in that video. That's the first one. That's the launch of my new kind of style. Okay, so that is what we're doing, and I just wanted to quickly throw that in because there have been so many requests, sweeties. It was actually so charming, you know, when people tell me, sweetie, you know, we understand that it's hard for you, but we kind of really want you to do makeup on camera. So anyway, I'm back, sort of, you know. I don't want to commit to anything because I don't want to like promise stuff that I can't keep. But as of right now, I'm feeling super good doing makeup in front of the camera. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to show you. So that is that. Okay, so that's coming next week. But for now, we are going to talk about weight loss. And there is actually a topic that I've been wanting to address quite some time, and then just so much came up, other things that I had to deal with. So I never got around to talk about this, but we have not spoken about weight loss. And if you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, I do have a weight loss playlist on my, or weight maintenance or weight loss journey. I don't exactly know how it's called right now. Maybe I can link it up here. But anyway, I do have a playlist about all of that on my channel here. And then you can check out those videos because it has been a long time that I'm dealing with that problem. Okay, so sweeties, I wanted to talk to you about the weight loss GPS. So does that make sense? No, but I will explain it to you in just a second. So you all know that I have been going back to therapy after overcoming, of course, my eating disorders and all of that, and basically having slipped back into old habits, bad habits, really sick and destructive habits when COVID hit. Okay, so that was around March, and then at the beginning of April I went back into therapy. In those few weeks that I did not go to therapy and I let myself just go down that hole, I gained, I want to say something like 10-15 kilos, which is a lot to gain in like just a couple of weeks. But I basically just ate the whole time. And when I now go back to the videos that I filmed back then, because I was still filming, I wasn't like offline, you know, I was still filming, and there is such a difference in the way I look back then. But anyway, it is like now I'm at my perfect weight. I lost it all. I worked hard on myself all those months, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I got back into this. But all of this, I'm not telling you this to praise myself, even though I'm very proud of myself, but I'm telling you this because it has to do with the weight loss GPS. Now, my therapist, my lovely therapist, Esther, she uses this kind of, it's like a picture or a metaphor, or I don't know how one calls it in English really, for weight loss and then gaining weight, you know, the yo-yo effect, the failure and then trying to get yourself back together and whatever, all of this, because that is what happens to all of us. We are humans, right? There is sometimes it's just too hard and we cannot keep ourselves together, and then we just need something to let go, you know, something to release, something, right? So, and for me it was the food, because that is my old pattern that I always had, that everything, no matter what I felt, I answered with food, which is, of course, in itself, it is not the right answer. If you're tired, it doesn't help to eat. If you're tired, you should go and rest, or you should go and sleep. If you're lonely, go and call someone. Go and, I don't know, go out. Well, right now under lockdown, it's not really possible, but just saying, you know, Food is not the answer. Food is not the answer. Food is only there to nourish your body. Yes, you're supposed to enjoy it. It's a God-given thing for you to enjoy, but you shouldn't abuse it. You know, we shouldn't abuse it. I don't want to make this like this is for you. You know, we are all in this together. I have to preach to myself that I should not ever abuse food for that purpose. I should enjoy the food that I'm eating, but yes, I also do have the responsibility to feed myself the right things in order to be healthy, in order to stay healthy for myself, for my children, to see what happens in 60 years from now. Well, how old would I be then? I would be over 100 years old. Yeah, but anyway, just saying, you know, we do have a responsibility here, and just saying that, well, I do enjoy food, it's not an excuse. There are no excuses, sweeties. And I have so many conversations with friends and also with just random people who contact me, who tell me this and that, and whatever their excuse is, okay? There are no excuses. When it comes to this, sweeties, I think you might have to go to someone else if you want to come up with excuses, because nothing, there are no excuses, okay? The bad weather is not an excuse. Preconditions, medical preconditions are not an excuse, because you can always do something. Sometimes it might be harder for you because you have some pre-existing condition that sort of slows down your metabolism, or maybe you cannot go and work out because whatever your condition is, but there's always something you can do, okay? So just to sit back and put your hands in your lap because you think you have the perfect excuse, it's not working. Not with me. Sorry, sweeties, because I love you too much to just, you know, put like, I don't know, honey around your mouth. This is how you would say it in German. I don't know if one says that in English. If you just want to say something that the people want to hear, in German you say you put honey around your mouth. So I don't know, that's probably not true in English, but you know what I mean, okay? Because I love you and I want the best for you. I want us to get, all of us, me too, because I'm still coming up with excuses. I just kick my butt in that case and get myself out of it, you know? We can do that. We do have the power to do that. We do not need to give in into this thing that we just always want to make excuses for ourselves to make our life easier. Does that make our life easier? Maybe in that moment. Does it make it better? No. You know, it's just postponing the problem. Okay, so the GPS that I want to talk about, and that is something that Esther, my therapist, came up with, or at least this is where I heard it the first time. So let me tell you. Okay, all of us have been on a weight loss journey, have been on a diet, whatever you want to call it, and we've been doing well, and then something happens, and then we fall into this hole. You know, we fall off the wagon, something happens, and just everything falls apart, and then we just start to eat whatever comes across our path, and we feel all lost and guilty and bad and whatever. So what do? This is where the GPS comes in, okay? Because let me give you an example. Now, she used the example of Israeli cities regarding the GPS. I'm going to use, I don't know, American cities, because most of my people that are watching me are in America. So I'm just going to do that, okay? So let's say you want to go, wow, now I don't know, from New York to LA. It's probably the only cities I know. So anyway, so you have started to drive, or yeah, it's got to be driving, because a plane, you can't really exit a plane in a normal way. So you have started to drive from New York to LA. Good luck, it's going to be a long drive. Okay, so somewhere you're taking a wrong turn, and you're taking off towards Houston. You know, that is not exactly the right direction, right? So what is it you would do under normal circumstances as a person who's driving a car? You would listen to your GPS. The first exit that takes you back on track towards LA, this is where you would go, right? Or would you go to Houston and then you would go from there to LA? That doesn't make sense. Like, nobody in their right mind would do that. But when it comes to eating, we love to do that. We love to do that. You know, let's just say, just for an example, okay? So I had some kind of crisis situation and I started at noon to binge eat because, you know, whatever. I just cracked and I needed that, or I thought I needed that, and I thought that I didn't have a different solution and I needed to just eat whatever, or even eat my healthy stuff, but eat way too much because I felt like I needed to fill this hole that is right now gaping inside of me. Okay, so what did I used to do a lot is that I would say, okay, so tomorrow I'm going to go back on track, or maybe the day after I'm going to get back on track. But for now, I'm just going to let myself be in this hole and like bathe in my sorrow. Okay, but just imagine the damage you can do in those remaining 10 hours of that day. How much potentially you will eat of the wrong things and the wrong amounts on that day till you're getting back on track, and how hard it is going to be if you let yourself eat all the chocolate and the ice cream and who knows what, how hard it is going to be on the next day to go back to the normal healthy lifestyle that is low sugar and things like this, you know, because after you have indulged your body again and sort of given it to your body again, sugar and all of these things, your body is going to crave it so much more and you're going to be miserable. So that just didn't make sense. So what my advice is in this video for you, if you've fallen off the wagon, get back on it right away. Yes, you fell off. Fine. Okay, forgive yourself, move on. It's not the end of the world, but don't spend the next hour or the next day or the whatever the amount of time is that it takes for you to get back on the wagon. Don't spend that doing damage to yourself, okay? I think the most important thing in the situation where you just slip and you fail, you know, I know I don't want to like say you fail because it's just human, but still, you know, it happens to all of us. But the most important thing is how we deal with this in that situation. We have to pull ourselves together and to just recognize, okay, this happened now and it happened for those and those reasons. I did not react the right way. I hope I can react the right way next time. But for now, I'm just going to forgive myself and I'm going to go back to how it's supposed to be. That is the way I think it should go, and this is how it works for me. This is how I have lost all that weight since April, you know, and it is a lot of weight. It's a lot. And I'm, you know, because you have to sort of rein yourself in. You cannot just like a child that runs free and never gets, I don't know, restricted by their parents or something. I mean, there are some kids who are raised like this. You know, I don't know, we cannot as adults live like this. You know, there are rules and rules are good for you. You know, there is a certain framework that we just need in order to be healthy. And that is just what I'm trying to promote here. That not that I'm not about body shaming, sweeties, at all. I love all of you. I know that a lot of people have sent me pictures of you and I love you and I respect you, and that's why I'm telling you how it works for me. Okay, so I hope you can take it as that and not that I'm sitting here on my high horse and I'm preaching at you, because the struggle is real. Even for me, I have to make a conscious decision every single day because I've been going through some really, really rough months now too. And besides COVID, but other things, you know, and that is, you know, it doesn't matter. But I just want to say that even for me, even though I did succeed, but it is because I really kicked my own butt and I did not allow myself to throw a temper tantrum like a small kid, you know, because that is basically what we're doing when we are going off the path and just, you know, trying to fill that hole with something else. We're basically kind of throwing a temper tantrum, and I think we are all too good for that, sweeties. We are all better than that. So that is just what I wanted to get out of there. And also, you know what, there is another aspect to that I just quickly want to also include in this, is that when you know there are certain days or certain times of days where you know the chance or the risk of you falling into that hole is bigger, avoid that hole. Try your best to avoid that hole. You know, again, it's a metaphor, but for example, you're leaving your house and right in front of your house is a big hole, like a sinkhole, whatever, you know? So would you then jump into the hole and try to climb out on the other side in order to get to work? Or would you just sort of, you know, try to nudge your way around the hole and go to your car and go to work? Of course, you wouldn't voluntarily jump into the hole, right? So that is what I'm saying. Try to avoid those holes. Try to nudge your way just on the edge around it to get to where you want to go, because that is what we have to do. We have to be smart about this. If we want to have the results, we have to put in the work. It's not easy, but it doesn't come for free. It absolutely does not come for free. But sweeties, if you have the weight that you're supposed to have, and I'm not talking about being super skinny or like unhealthy skinny. I've been there. I know that it is horrible and it's not worth it. But now I'm at my perfect weight and I feel good. I feel so good about being on camera, about the modeling, about going outside if I can, if it's possible. You know, I feel good about my body and about myself, and this is what I want for all of you. If you can go and buy something off the rack in the store without thinking, wow, do they even have my size? You know, it is a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling, and I want all of you to have that. So that is basically, this is what I want for all of us, that we can just be healthy and be in a good way healthy, not being extreme, not being crazy, but also giving ourselves the rules that we need in order to just get to the place where we want to get. Okay, so that is basically, wow, this is what I wanted to say. So I hope this was helpful. Please, of course, give me your feedback in the comments. And if this is not falling on fertile ground, I'm so sorry, but this is how I see it. This is how it has worked for me. So I'm just basically sharing my truth here, how it has actually worked for me several times, you know, and this is how I live, and it just makes sense to me. So, but you can feel free to give me your feedback. And besides that, of course, if you're new here, then please subscribe to my channel. Just know that I'm doing mostly makeup content and beauty content, but once in a while I also do, of course, lifestyle. I love to do that. I love to share my life here. So please feel free to browse around in my content. And if you like it here, then please subscribe. I would love to have you here. And I will see you here tomorrow for my next video. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.